I just wanted to be able to do my own thing and start my own life. Throughout my upbringing, I was really influenced and informed by how my dad saw the world. Everything that we did at home and at school that he ran, he did himself. It was us working on the land and changing the land that really was the first start of building my own world and changing the context around me. My first inspiration and idea of becoming an architect was when I was invited by my dad to visit the opening of the City of Arts and Sciences, and it was a building designed by Galarraga. And I asked my dad, I was like, oh, who would do something like this? And he said, oh, it's a very famous Spanish architect. And I think from that moment on, I realized that that is something that I wanted to do. When people ask me where are you from, I always say Spain. I kind of have this very half-half personality. I left home very young. I was 16. I'd had this amazing upbringing in Spain where I was in the forest, in the countryside, building structures, making fires, doing all the things that, you know, young rebellious boys do. And whilst I really enjoyed that kind of experience, I was always looking ahead, always thinking about what I wanted to do next. From as early as I can remember, I just wanted to be able to do my own thing and start my own life. I've always been interested in what's happening on the periphery, and that's why I think the work that I've been drawn to is in between art, architecture and fashion. And it's kind of that juncture of all of those projects that I guess really inspires me and allows me to do work that isn't necessarily just straight down the middle architecture. I feel lucky to not only be in a profession that allows you to be exposed to all of that, but also to be in a city where you have everything on your doorstep. Everything from going to music events or going to exhibitions, all of that feeds this way of working. What happens with a lot of creative people is that you have doubts. I think you really need to build your confidence as a designer to really feel comfortable in what you do. And I think you just need to put stuff out into the world and then critically analyze what you're doing. So I guess my creative process has come from just constantly doing and making and actually learning through that experience. My biggest passion is music. From as early as I can remember, I've been into electronic music. Growing up in Spain, that's a big part of the culture. And I think it was when I was 15, 16, I bought my first set of decks. I really thought I was going to be a DJ. Architecture soon took over, but I think that appreciation for music has never left me. I think I've always seen music as quite a meditative thing for me. It's almost where I go to kind of reset. I found actually the process of creating music is very similar to developing a design and making a project. I think the ability to put something out into the world for me has a similar, not only expression, but also a similar feeling. I think I get the same from making furniture. I think it doesn't necessarily matter what medium it is, that kind of enjoyment and the freedom and the purity of creating something is the same about designing a building or making music. I think if I pinpointed what it is that I want to be doing is constantly learning. And I think by absorbing myself in different types of things, it just means that I'm constantly being inspired. For me, it's really important that you do something that you really enjoy, that you wake up every day feeling inspired, that you get excited to go to work, and that you get fulfillment from what you do in your day-to-day. I feel quite fortunate that I'm at a point where I've gone through tough times, I've hustled, I've worked really hard to get to this point where the world and the people around me are really on this kind of similar journey that we're all wanting to do great things.